Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and want to try to finish the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie reviews, and I know I have a bunch of other stuff to get to, so here we go. Uh, Next one is, he's in a Jean-Claude Van Damme, it's more of a supporting role, it's a comedy that came out in 2013, give or take, called Welcome to the Jungle. Now I believe there's a found footage film called Welcome to the Jungle, and The Rock did a film called The Rundown, which that original title for that film was Welcome to the Jungle. But this is one where you have this guy named Adam Brody, which I don't even know if he's related to Adrian Brody. But Adam Brody is this office worker. And you have a bunch of executives at the beginning, and they're trying to get in touch with these guys to make bathroom tissues, and this guy daydreams, oh, I got an idea, let's have a mascot for your tissue, and to get the account, and it'll be a koala, and he's daydreaming, well, he's dreaming, and then wakes up, and then this sort of the dickhead of the movie says, hey, why don't you run it by me first? Tells him, oh no, that's awful, that's awful. This film is not that funny, except when Jean-Claude Van Damme is on screen. That's why I paused, because I'm going to go through the plot. That's just how I do things. But Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's in the film. He doesn't come until about the 15 or so minute mark. Then he's in it off and on for about 15 minutes. And then about the 30-minute mark, he disappears for about 20 minutes. Then he comes back at about the 50-minute mark, and then he's in it sporadically. I mean, he is a supporting role, but he's the best thing in this movie. Because Jean-Claude Van Damme, long story short, these office workers, Dennis Haysbert is actually the boss. And he's like, you guys are going on a retreat, and here's this guy. Van Damme is this tough guy who's just sort of a survivalist type of guy. Apparently he's had military training, and I'm going to get you on this island, I'm going to teach you to be a man. And Van Damme's having fun. Van Damme, it was nice to see him in this kind of role. It's different kind of role. I thought he was entertaining. He made me chuckle when he was on screen with some of the lines of dialogue and how he acted. Because he's a character who thought was tough, and then he's kind of lied about certain things. You find out later on. I'll get into that, but he's the only thing worth a shit. And to be honest, it should have just, from his point of view, because you don't give a fuck about any of the other characters. The dialogue for them is pretty piss poor. I mean, at the beginning, when they're the dickhead CEO above them, pretty much talking him out of approaching the bigwigs about this koala deal on the bathroom tissue. But of course, if you've seen enough movies, you know that the asshole is going to steal it for himself and say that he's the one who thought of this, and then he's going to get the praise. And the guy's saying something like, listen, all you really want is to get the shit out of your butt. Especially, you don't want an Australian, an Australian devil boy crawling on your nutsack. And I barely got through that fucking dialogue because I feel like an idiot saying it. I do. I feel like a fucking moron saying that dialogue. That's why I barely went through it. I mean, apparently this guy, this is his first feature film. And I don't know who the writer was, but when it came to Van Damme's character, it was fine. Everyone else, I mean, you got Adam Brody, who's pretty much a guy who's kind of wimpy, doesn't stand up for himself, so of course by the end he does. This girl who's beautiful, of course he's going to get with the guy at the end. His buddy who's kind of a stoner, little bit of a stoner guy, laid back. And then you have this other woman who's kind of nutty. She has all this stuff around of rabbits in her office space, and again, she's sort of a little nutty of a fruitcake. Instead, the asshole steals the lead's idea. Adam Brody tattles, and Dennis Haysbert does nothing about it. Says, oh, you think you did it. You think you came up with it, but aren't you maybe a little jealous or something? And Maybe it's about like 10, 12 minutes when Van Damme comes in. But when he comes in, it's fun, because there's Haysbert, he's not going to go, but all the other office workers have to go on this wilderness retreat. And like Adam Brody just passed something, and he chuckles a bit, and Van Damme looks at him and goes, "You must have big rots between your legs. You think you can stare me down, boy?" And I love Van Damme. Anytime he spoke, just the kind of character he played, it was a lot of fun. I wish the movie was just about him. I wish it was from his point of view. I wish it was from his... I don't know why he made me think of... I don't know why. It's not the same at all. But Ben Stiller in Heavyweights, I think only because he's the guy who is going to train these other people. While that one is in a fat camp. Here it's a wilderness retreat. But they have nothing to like, so I don't know why I thought of him. But I think because Heavyweights, I haven't seen that in a while, but Ben Stiller's the one I remember the most in it. And here, if you watch the film, Van Damme is the only thing you don't remember. Someone should put like just all of Van Damme's clips from the film on YouTube, and you just watch that and you watch the movie. That's the only good part of the movie. Because you have this old guy on a plane, and of course, you know, because he's old, he's probably going to die. And it's this rickety plane, and they get down, and because Adam Brody's buddy was smoking marijuana, Van Damme comes up to him, and the way he pronounces marijuana, Van Damme, am I smelling marijuana? Just the fact he pronounced it marijuana. Like there's a wilderness, and Van Damme has the talking stick. And he's telling the story, and the story is, of course, Lord of the Flies, but he says it was Pinocchio, and he's talking about Pinocchio, and, you know, don't be like the donkeys, and it sounds more stupid than it is, but I thought Van Damme, he was having fun. I think that's another thing. A lot of his later direct-to-video stuff, he's very glum, he's very depressed, because he's playing depressing characters, so it's nice to see... Some people may view it as Van Damme embarrassing himself. I find it the other way. I find it he's the only redeeming factor. I mean, he's not writing the film, he's not directing the film, he's not the star of the film. Again, he's a supporting role. Adam Brody is the star, but I don't give a fuck about his character. He could die, he could do whatever. His character I'm talking about, folks. But there's certain things where, for example, Van Damme wants them all to have this primal scream, and one does something, and Van Damme goes, "You have issues." And then another person, Adam Brody's trying to scream and yell, and Van Damme keeps saying, "Scream like I'm squeezing into your balls." He says, "Scream like I'm squeezing into your balls." He said, "Scream like I'm squeezing into your balls." Not squeezing your balls, squeezing into your balls. Or like there's this trust exercise, and Van Damme just takes someone's hat, and the guy goes, "That's my hat, sir." And Van Damme goes, "It's my hat now." He starts wearing that. I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. I got a kick out of him. He was a lot of fun. Really, for me, I don't have the film, but I was able to see it streaming. And just fast forward to the damn Van Damme scenes and watch him. That's really the only thing. Because really, all the rest of the plot is they find the pilot dead, so they're stuck on the island. This girl gets bit by a snake, and Adam Brody helps her because he had some Boy Scout type of training, or Cub Scout, I forget which one. The dickhead argues with the lead who should be leader, and people go with Adam Brody, but then the dickhead brings some meat, so they're going with the dickhead, and then he picks a fight with the lead, and then you find out that he's put some hallucinogenics in the coffee, so now some of the other people, they're acting a bit more crazy, so he's trying to be like a comedy version of Lord of the Flies. It just doesn't work. They split up, the lead and the girl have a conversation because they gotta fall in love. And the Porky girl with all the rabbits in her, big fan of rabbits in her office. You have this one scene, which this is what I'm talking about. This is not funny. It wasn't well written. It, even for lowbrow, it just... I'm not saying I need highbrow. I love Meatballs with Bill Murray and Stripes. That's a great movie. Club Paradise with Robin Williams, I think is a very underrated film, is much better than this movie. Robin Williams' Club Paradise, directed by Harold Ramis. I love that movie. I reviewed that film. I love Club Paradise. That's much better than this movie. It needed better actors or a better script. Honestly, both. It needed actors' idea to fuck about. It needed better jokes. It needed a better pacing because I thought it was boring. Unfunny as fuck scenes is this one scene where this girl's just talking about shit. Literally, oh, I'm infected with shit right now, and I gotta take the shit, and, you know, I can't squat because something might bite my pussy. And then the lead goes, well, nothing's gonna bite your pussy. I'm like, I don't want to bite your pussy, because then at least it would take my mind off your fucking movie, okay? Smother my head in it, stick my head up it, stick my head through it, I don't care. Eat it, drink it, whatever. There's a pussy, go for it. I'd rather go there than here on my fucking screen watching your fucking movie. And then she screams, oh yeah, why Van Damme disappears is that he's talking, and they're talking about someone saw a tiger. And Van Damme's like, oh, there's no tigers. And pretty much is a repeated joke of a tiger gets on Van Damme kicks, throws it off, gets on him, throws it off. Tiger gets on him again, they tumble over the falls, thinking Van Damme's dead, but he's not. And then we don't, like I said, he disappears about 20 minutes. And then, like I said, about the 50-minute mark, you get that scene with the girl talking about her shit and how she needs the shit. Yeah, I love to hear that. That's great to hear in a comedy of any sort, or a movie of any sort. Some fucking weird girl talking about needing to take a shit. How about I take the shit instead of watching a fucking movie? How about you give me the movie and I'll take the shit on that? How about I stick it up my ass until it's covered with shit, and then I give it a pass around so they cover in shit, so that no one would dare to even bother watching the movie. They stay the fuck away. It's like the Ark of the Covenant. If you try to touch it, your head just explodes. Okay, oomsa oomsa day, just rip out your heart and just eat it like Jason Goes to Hell. And just go, fuck it, I don't want that movie away. And this is even one of the worst Van Damme films I've seen. I mean, hell, I got more enjoyment out of this than fucking Swelter, which I'll talk about, or Dragon Eyes, or fucking Derailed, which is sad to say, but that's only because when Van Damme was there, I thought he was actually really funny. But fuck the rest of the movie. But I said, the stupid dialogue when she screams, a guy who kind of likes her says, that wasn't her poo stream. Poo stream? That's your fucking dialogue. That wasn't her poo stream. And they find Van Damme. He's been injured. Find out he was in the military. They find this shack, this house in the middle of nowhere. And then, like, again, Van Damme is the only thing worth his shit. They try to stitch him up. He's like, no needles, no needles. There's this pep talk, and there's this map, and Van Damme just points, I drew the little guys. And you see on the map, there's these little stiff figures. And he's like, I drew the little guys there. And he's so proud of himself. I mean, I like that Van Damme is having fun. I miss that. I miss that. I mean, again, he's my favorite part of the movie. The only good part of the movie. And pretty much it's just, they need to get this radio, they need to get these bits and fix this radio so they can call for help. But then a lot of the dickheads guys, the hallucinogens, they're all fucked up, and some get knocked out, some get captured. The lead guy makes something, glides down, fights the dickhead, wins. The dickhead then tries to fuck up the lead guy, and Van Damme comes in, kicks the guy, has a famous yell, first in slow-mo, and then you just see Van Damme, ah! They're like, enough, okay. So I thought, again, they did a flare, they fired, there's a boat by, they come by. I did Van Damme is the only thing worth the shit. He talks about he's don't go to prison because he was impersonating a military guy. And he's talking to Adam Brody, and with such a sincere look on his face, Van Damme is saying, "You'll write to me?" The guy's like, "Oh yeah, yeah. How often?" "Once a month." "I need more." "How about once a week?" "You'll come to visit me?" Like just such a like happy look, like a puppy. You'll come to visit me? And then he looked at the girls like, she wants you. And again, Van Damme is, I think, very funny in the movie. I like Van Damme here more than Grudge Match with Stallone. And like I said, this is a rant, and because the rest of the movie is a piece of shit. But Grudge Match, I was more disappointed in. Well, not disappointed. I didn't have any hope, but I didn't really even care for Stallone's performance in Grudge Match. I thought it was sort of a unfunny turn at trying to do a comedy, Rocky, whatever I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do. A Rocky Balboa comedy type with Grudge Match, all by Robert De Niro, or whether it was Robert De Niro's decision or to do the movie, I don't give a fuck. It just, the fact those two are the stars of the movie, I mean, Van Damme isn't the star of this movie. He's doing what he can. Stallone was the star as well as Robert De Niro in Grudge Match. So that's a much more worse movie because it pisses me off more. This still pisses me off in the fact that I should just give Van Damme the lead. Because he was the funniest part of it. He was the only good part of it. And the rest of the movie, they did bad, and the lead and the girl quit, and the dickhead is still on the island, and that's pretty much the movie. I mean, the movie itself, the plot-wise, is nothing. Again, it's trying to be sort of a, I don't know if you want to say quirky, but a comedy version of Lord of the Flies. It doesn't work, and there's this one big guy. He's only there for the dickhead to go, we're going to eat him. Yeah, when we start, we're going to eat him. There's an Asian guy, just like he can yell and say about how his mom or such wouldn't let him play the violin or the piano or some type of musical instrument, and pretty much there not to do much. Dennis Haysbert, he's there at the very beginning of the film, at the very end of the film, the last scene of the film, one of the last scenes of the film. Again, Van Damme, he's the only thing worth a shit. The other jokes, the characters, the acting, I don't care about anybody else. So it's hard to review comedies. That's why I don't review comedies a lot, because how do you review a comedy? It's easy. Is it funny? Is it not funny? If it's funny, then it worked for you. If it's not funny, then it didn't work for you. And like everything else, action or whatever, it's subjective. What makes you laugh doesn't mean it will for me. What makes me laugh doesn't mean it will for you. But that's why it's hard to review comedies. How do you review comedy? Hey, did it make you laugh? Okay, then it's a success. Did it not make you laugh? Okay, it fails. And most of this movie was a fail because it wasn't fucking funny. The plot was nothing. The only thing worth the shit was Jean-Claude Van Damme. So, again, for me, if I ever saw the movie again, it would be just to flip to Van Damme scenes, watch them, which I don't know, combined total, I mean, he's in a lot more than, say, Dragon Eyes and this movie I saw, Swelter. He's in a lot more than those films. So that's why I say this film's a bit better, because I like Van Damme in the movie. Dragon Eyes is pretty much a useless role. Swelter, I'll get to that, but I thought this movie, which was sent to me, which it was nice when they sent it to me as a gift, but I thought this was a pile of shit. I'd rather watch Welcome to the Jungle than this. Of course, that's not saying much. There's a lot of good Van Damme films you can see, but yeah. That's Welcome to the Jungle. Van Damme is good. Everything else in the movie isn't. So I think Van Damme did a good job. I wish he had, I don't know, a better director, a better script, being the lead. Maybe have some other people as the leads. I don't know who. That's just my opinion. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you on the next Van Damme review. Later.